Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Altcoin Mentors YouTube channel. My name is Peter, and today I'm going to be doing our weekly technical analysis of the cryptocurrency markets and the coins we currently follow. Our main goal here at Altcoin Mentors is to help as many people as possible achieve their goal of financial freedom, and we believe trading cryptocurrencies is an opportunity of a lifetime. By the end of this video, you should have a better understanding of where the cryptocurrency markets are going in the near-term and long-term futures. If you like our videos, please follow us on Twitter and on Telegram. We also have a link to a model portfolio for our 2K 5X challenge, where we're up almost 3X since end of April. If you'd like to be notified of our latest videos, please hit the bell button. Okay, so let's start with Bitcoin on a weekly chart. So Bitcoin on a weekly chart looks like it's just going sideways, and that's all it's been doing. That's all I've been saying for the last couple months. I know I sound pretty boring compared to some other people, but the difference though is that there's a difference between being boring and being real and being very honest, right? Because I'm not a hype machine that's going to say that, oh, you know, Bitcoin is going back up to $20,000 by the end of this year, or that Bitcoin is going down to zero by the end of this year. Right. All I'm doing is looking at the charts and telling you what I see from a very, subjective point of view, but in a very objective way, because I do it in the same manner over and over and over again. And that's really the key. It's really just about a pattern of what I see. And right now, everything is going sideways. Not everything, but for Bitcoin, the main one, it's going sideways. So on a daily chart, it's going sideways for a while. It broke out of the range that I told you I drew over the summer. It peaked out and now it's right back in it. It came close to the edge of it at about 6,700, but it still hasn't broken, and it's been here for the last month. So yesterday I tweeted this out that we might have created a higher high, right? But that's the keyword here. It says Bitcoin might just maybe created a higher high. Unfortunately, there is no way of knowing until it creates a new higher high. Might just maybe created a higher low. Unfortunately, there is no way of knowing until it creates a new higher high. So let's talk about what I mean by that. So what I mean by that is when you look at this chart on a 60-minute, 6-hour time frame, or a lot of other time frames, even on a daily or 12-hour. Right, if you can zoom it out, right? So what you'll see here is that you have a low. It starts to go back up. We have a higher low here. It goes. Do we have higher high? I mean a lower high. And here, is this a higher low or a lower low? Right, it's actually the same, but it starts to go back up, and now we have a higher high than before, over here. And so now this low is currently higher than this low. So we have a higher low. But for this move to the upside to be valid, it has to get past this high, which is at about 6,800. So the reason why I mentioned this, because it's the same pattern that happened over here. So you can see a little bit better on a 6-hour. So it's the same thing here. I drew a curly over here because basically that's what happened. So we have, if you look at it here, from this move here, we have lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. And all of a sudden, we have almost the same high. It could be a double top, but same. But then the lows keep on getting a little bit higher, right? Lows are keeping hit. And then once we finally peak up and we say we have a higher high. And then now we have a higher low over here. And then, so as it starts going up, the lows keep on getting a little bit higher, and then it breaks out to the upside. So I'm not saying that Bitcoin is going to keep on going higher, but there is a potential that it might, especially if it gets a little bit higher than this level, which is at 68.47. So that's really what I am looking for right now, is for it to break out of this range. If it gets past 68.47, then I might be more interested in taking a long. If it breaks below this little low of 6,100, I might be getting into a short. But as long as it's ranging, it's hard to trade, because you have to really keep an eye on it. And right now, I don't have a lot of time to day trade Bitcoin. The other markets are going pretty crazy. So if you look at the tweet I said yesterday, yesterday was FOMC day, which is interest rate decisions for the Federal Open Market Committee for the U.S. They raised interest rates. Euro markets, forex, all the indexes went crazy. It's a continuation of that. Maybe today we have some other news coming up. Because of that, I don't have time to day trade Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's going sideways. So what I'm really looking for, I'm looking for swings. I'm looking for positions that I don't have to manage on a minute by minute, hourly basis. So let's look at Ether. So Ether on a weekly is going down. I mean, it's been getting hammered. So ever since May, you look at it, it's going lower, 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 lower. It was in a range over here for a while, and it just kept on going lower. It looked like it was going to bounce up, but then it stopped. So as it's going sideways for now. This is the range that I drew. It's right back in the range here on a daily. Now it's just going sideways. We have major resistance at around 240, which it hasn't been able to break. And now it looks like it's just going sideways. So if we scale it out a little bit, you see the range a little bit better. All right, so this is what I mean. So when you look at it on a daily, right, you say, oh, that range isn't that valid. It peaks out a lot of times. But when you look at it on a shorter time frame, the majority of the time it's been inside, right? A little bit here, a little bit out here, but the majority of the time it's here. And that's where it's at right now. So for Ether, I am actually looking for it to go a little bit further down. The trend is negative, so I am a trend trader, and that's really what I'm looking for. If it keeps on going down off of resistance, it can go all the way down to the lows, which is around 200. Look at EOS. EOS on a weekly looks like it might be turning around. We have a color change, but we had that up here too, that it failed. And so this is going to be an important day important week because we're right here at support resistance, right over here. So look at it on a daily chart, and you'll see that's where we've been bouncing around, right? So this is a high of the range. So this is where it's kind of interesting, right? So over the summer, I drew this little box, and I said that this is the range that EOS has been in. Now it broke below. But the interesting part is that this bottom edge of the range was support, and now it's acting as resistance, which is this red line over here. So it's bouncing off of it over here, and it just keeps on going up and down into this thing, but hovering right around the 565 level. So here, same thing. I really won't touch it until it kind of breaks out of this range. XMR looks okay. It looked like it's getting better. If you look at it on a weekly, it actually did confirm to the upside. It bounced off of major support, and right now it's at the medium-term resistance. So if it can continue to stay above this green line at about 111, right, and break out of this little box that also it was in for a longer period of time, 150 is the next target. But it has to create a new higher high, right? So that's really what I'm looking for. Right now it's just staging. Look at what it's been doing for the last few days, just staying right along this line. So it has to really be able to break out. If it breaks out of this little zone over here of 118 to 120, I could really see it going back up to 145, 150. So get Icon. So Icon on a weekly looks bad. We have one up candle. People thought, oh, it's going to go back up all the way to the moon. That's what I saw on Twitter. Saw from a few other followers, but it hasn't done that. So what happened in the past is that because cryptos are so very young, so I hear this all the time. So they say, oh, this has never happened before, or oh, this is what it usually happens. And so what I tell them is take a breath, right, and look at where the crypto markets are, right? It's at its infancy. It's about 2 years old. So when you say things like, oh, it's never happened like this before, or it's it usually doesn't do this, if you've ever had a baby, if you have any kids, even if you have like a young pet, right? You don't know what kids do at 2 years old, right? Everything is new, everything is fresh, right? There is no like, oh, this is what they've never done this before. So because of that, you have to always take it with a little bit of perspective. So right now, Icon is in a big channel, and we'll see where it's headed. But I'm not really touching it. It looks pretty ugly, in my opinion, right? For right now, it's just been going sideways. It's just going to go sideways for a very long time. Let's look at Enigma. So Enigma on a weekly looks very, very bad. People thought it was going to go back up to the moon. Once again, not my word, but other people's word. When it bounced off of major support over here, That's what I said. Like, what happens if it breaks support, right? And then people said, oh, I'm just going to keep on buying it because it's going to go to the moon. And if it does, then I don't want to be too late. So, well, that's good luck to you because it's just been hovering around this line over here. And if it breaks, guess what? It can go lower, and it can go a lot lower than that. So, you can probably see another 50% move to the downside if you're unlucky with Enigma. So on a short-term thing, you can see it, right? This is a major resistance here at 9194. Right now, it looks like it's going a little bit higher, but until it really breaks this level over here, right? So what I like to see always is a test, and that's what it has never done that, right? Recently. So the test is, for people who don't know, break above resistance, right? Test it. This way you know it's support, and then go back up and create a new higher high, right? Past, right, this level. So yes, you say, oh yeah, but I might get in a little bit late. Yes, but you're gonna be a little bit safer because every time you try to catch tops and bottoms, right? How successful are you? So let's look at ZRX. ZRX is one of the coins that actually look pretty decent. If you look at it on a weekly, we have a big up bar, and it's finally outside of this range here. So it was in an inside bar range for a weekly going down, and then now it finally broke out. On a daily, as you can see, it curled back up. So we have higher high here, higher low, and then, but right now it's at resistance here at 10442. It has to break it. If it does, then it can go up to 11897. So this is where it's at, right here. So same thing. It's testing resistance, and it has to break resistance. Until it does, right? You can't be a huge believer in it and pile on. Look at Zcoin. Zcoin on a weekly basis doesn't look, good. It just keeps on going down, down, down. On daily, same thing. It looks bad. On a 90-minute, it looks just super choppy. I might actually get rid of this because nothing is really happening with Zcoin. So let's look at Link. Link is one of the other ones that looks a lot better. I've talked about Link for over the last couple months. It keeps on going higher, higher, higher. It tested resistance over here, major resistance over here after it bounced off of major support. And then now it's just been channeling a little bit. So that's what you can see right here. So as it was going over here last week, I said that this is a key level here, right? So it broke up. Now it's just in between 4765 and 6137, and we'll see where it's headed, but it looks pretty solid. But this major move in one day is going to be a dominant bar. So any move inside of this range, it can be very, very choppy for a long time because it is so big. And that's why you can see that. It's just been very, very choppy ever since that move. But I'm looking for it to go a little bit higher, maybe test 6137 a little bit, but I'll probably go in a little bit slower. But I wanted to wait for confirmation to the upside. So I can have it bounce. So this is where the bounce would come in. So it just bounced up, but I needed to confirm a little bit. So what I'll do here is I'll wait for it to maybe I'd like for it to bounce off of this number here, 4765, and then come back up, confirm, and then I will go back in. Look at BitShares. BitShares was looking good for a while. So we on a weekly basis, they had one candle. We have a doji over here right at major support. It seems like it was ranging here for a while. It looks like it was going to break up, but then it looks like profit takers came back in. So it went higher, 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 closed above the 50 EMA on a daily basis. Now it's been going a little bit lower. So you can see it over here. Right, so this is major support over here. It broke major resistance here. It broke up through it, and now it looks like it might retest it. And if it does, then I might buy the bounce back to the upside. So thank you very much for watching our videos. Hope you enjoyed it. If you like our videos, please share it with your friends and other crypto traders. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Telegram. If you have any questions, please ask away in the comment section below. Do a very good job of answering all of our comments and questions right away. Thank you again for watching, and see you in our next video.